Are you ready to take your marriage to the next level or prepare for a God centered future marriage? Join us for our exclusive webinar, Unlocking the Secrets to a Successful Marriage. In just 1 hour, you'll discover the key elements to building a thriving, lasting relationship that honors God. We'll dive into the foundations of a successful marriage, from effective communication and conflict resolution to building intimacy and maintaining a strong bond over time. Learn practical tips and strategies that you can start applying immediately to transform your relationship. Whether you're newlyweds, have been married for years, or is single and want to prepare for a God centered marriage, this webinar is for you. This is more than just a webinar, it's an investment in your future together, guided by God's principles. Don't miss out on this opportunity to unlock the secrets to a happier, healthier marriage. Register now and take the first steps toward a more fulfilling relationship that pleases God. See you there. Hello, hello, hello. How are you this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are joining from? Thank you so much for being here. As you are joining, please tell us where you are joining from and share this webinar. We are going to dive right in, but I want you to know we are so grateful and thankful to have you here with us tonight. As you are joining, please share and let us know where you're joining from. And in the chat, please let me know with a 1 if you are married, with the 2 if you are engaged or waiting to be married. You have a desire to be married, but not married just yet. Put a 1 in the comments if you are married, and put a 2 if you are engaged or waiting to be married. You have a desire to be married, doing it God's way, but not just yet. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being on. We are not going to hold you guys long, but we are going to walk through some things tonight. We're going to be unlocking the secrets to a successful marriage. Are you guys ready? Are you excited? I know that I am. What about you? So as I am sharing this, all right, we're going to dive right on in. I'm going to put up the presentation here. Unlocking the secrets to a successful marriage. Excuse me. Tonight, we're going to discover key insights to unlock the secrets of a successful marriage. Whether you're a couple or someone desiring marriage, learn how to strengthen your bond and improve communication skills for a thriving relationship. You know, William and I have been on this journey. December will be 10 years for us, and we have experienced so many different things along the way. But one of the things that was so key for us that really changed the path of our marriage was when we decided to do marriage God's way. And so everything that we do, everything that we teach, everything that we encourage is all going to stem back to doing marriage God's way. We're going to give you biblical principles, and we're going to give you practical skills and tips to help along the way. So we're going to talk about tonight how to unlock the secrets to a successful marriage. We will have Q&A, but that will be at the end of this. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we will address them at the end. So our team, we have William Manime as our transformational coach. So if you are looking to be transformed, male or female, William is the coach for you. He is our multilingual coach because he speaks several languages. So if you are English, French, Spanish, he has you. He has a few more, but I don't know if you want me to share those with you. William and I both together do marriage and relationship coaching Whether you are married, you are in a situation where you're about to be divorced, you've gotten on the other side and you needing to walk through that phase, we both can help you through that path. If you're in a relationship and you're trying to decide on if this relationship should move further on to marriage or should you walk away, is this actually the relationship that God have ordained for you? So I want you to know that you have some options where it comes to having the type of coach that you need. And I am your restoration coach. I help women that have been divorced or went through bad relationships and really need a healing, need restoration, need some direction and some clarity on the next steps and how to do this thing that we call life after divorce. It is not easy, but I tell you, if you take your time, if you evaluate yourself, make sure that you put God the center of it all, you can achieve your healing and true restoration. So that is your team. We also have Angel that helps us with some things behind the scenes. William did tell me to put her on here and I forgot. So forgive me for that. So, what we will learn today, we're going to discuss foundational elements of a successful marriage. We're going to talk about some common challenges and how we can overcome them, and the power of doing marriage God's way. So, the importance of a successful marriage in today's world. A successful, fulfilling marriage doesn't happen by accident. How many of you know that? It takes patience, intentionality, compromise, and a deep commitment from both partners. But the rewards of a thriving marriage are immense. It can provide us with companionship, support, intimacy, and a foundation for a true, meaningful life. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When you think about what it takes to actually walk out a marriage and really to be successful, because you can be married but not be successful in it, not actually thrive, not actually be fulfilling what God intended for you to be fulfilling. And so you want to be very patient with one another. You want to be intentional how what you give to one another. You want to make sure that you understand you're going to have to compromise along the way. Women, you can't have it your way. Men, it can't always be about you. And a deep commitment from both partners. When you stand before each other and you make that covenant with one another, you are not only committing to one another, but you're making a commitment to your God. And the rewards of a thriving marriage is un just it's never ending. I love being married. I love when I see us overcome things. I see us walk in happiness, walk in joy. And I credit all of that is to the relationship we have with God first and foremost. We both have our own personal relationship with the Lord. And then we serve the Lord together. Being successful in marriage, it can provide you the companionship you're looking for. I know a lot of people just want to have somebody, want somebody to love them and to be loved. And that's good, but you want to make sure that you're walking with the right person. Having that support and intimacy is I love that part of being married. But there are common challenges that we all face in marriage. When I think about some of the things that we have faced, this is just three of them, but I have a list of some of the common things that we face in marriage. But the top three was communication issues, financial disagreements, and intimacy problems. Communication issues, financial disagreements, and intimacy problems. These challenges highlights the importance of proactive communication, empathy, and mutual respect in nurturing a healthy marriage. Addressing the issues early on help couples strengthen their bond and navigate difficulties more effectively. Because if you don't understand how to communicate well with one another, if you don't understand how to budget and how to address when you have financial hardship and financial difficulties, when you have those problems where you're struggling with your intimacy, you're going to have some major issues along the way. So I encourage you, if you are not married, please, please, pretty please, make sure you do premarital counseling with your pastor, with one of us. Find someone that can walk you through premarital counseling. It is very important that you know how to do this, because if you don't, you create issues for yourself down the line. You want to know when they come, how to address them. When you have issues where you may not know how to communicate with one another, you will already have learned practical skills on how to communicate. One of the things that we're implementing is, and my brain just went on pause. Pray, seek, speak. Pray, seek, and speak. You want to pray first, you want to seek for the right words, and then you speak. And if you don't have the right words to speak at that time, ask for time out. Just wait, hold up. I need a break. I need a chance to step away and think about this clearly before I respond. So you want to make sure that you are learning the tools that you need in order to communicate effectively. You want to know if you are a verbal or nonverbal communicator. I didn't find out those things until after I was married. And so I'm sharing these things with you, and we want you guys to know that it's important to know what type of communicator you are. You should be between both. However, I was leaning more to a nonverbal communicator than a verbal. And so what that would do is, I may not say the words, but you can look at my body language, you can look at my facial expressions, and it would tell the story. And so you want to make sure that you are communicating well, that you're expressing how you feel, that you're being honest and transparent with one another. If you're struggling with expressing your feelings, sometimes you may have to write down how you feel. William always laugh at me because I'll write up a letter real quick, because if I can't express it correctly and I think that maybe it would create some confrontation between the two of us, I'll write it down and we'll come back and address it later. Misunderstanding and resentment. Um, Married 10 years, let me tell you, you will have misunderstandings because you may have said something a way and they received it or perceived it another way. So we have to make sure that we are clear and concise on how we are communicating so that there are no misunderstandings and you don't build up resentment because that person that you're with is not clear on what you're expressing. The person that you're walking with is not clear on what you actually need from them. You need things from your spouse. You don't just want things, you need things. My husband is he loves touch. And so if I feel like I can just go through this marriage and never touch him, never give him the affection that he needs, he's going to look elsewhere. I have learned that I have to be very intentional about loving him the way he needs to be loved and not loving him the way I want to love him. You have to love your spouse the way they need to be loved and not just how you want to love them. The importance in active listening and empathy. You want to make sure you're not just listening to respond, but you're listening to process. You're listening in order to give them a response that's accurate and not given through anger, spite, or frustration. Financial disagreements, conflicts over spending habits, saving priorities, aligning financial values. Do you have a savings? Do you want to save? What are we buying? Are we buying a home? Are we financing a car? How are we going to do these things? Are you a spender? Are you the saver? You want to make sure that you balance these things out early in the relationship. Why? Because it will cause problems for you later down the line. Intimacy problems, loss of sexual intimacy, contributing factors could be stress, medical conditions, unresolved conflicts, emotional disconnection. you can rest assured somewhere along in your marriage, one of these things you will face. And I guarantee you, if you do not know how to communicate well with one another, you'll stay in that place longer than you need to. Talk to a counselor, talk to your pastor, see it, get you a coach, get you someone to talk to that you know will give you wise counsel. If you have some medical things going on, make sure you're talking to your doctor about what you're feeling and what it's leading to in your relationship. So the three common challenges in marriage is communication, financial, and intimacy. Trust me, there's a lot more, but we don't even have enough time to cover all of them. The foundation of a successful marriage: shared values and life goals, compatibility and understanding, and meaningful conversations. Shared values and life goals, compatibility and understanding, and meaningful conversations. Are you actually making sure that the person that you're walking with is on the same wavelength as you? Did you make sure to have the conversation prior to, for those of you that are already engaged, for those of you that are already married, did you discuss shared values and life goals? I want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. I want to live here. I don't want to live here. I want us to fellowship and go to church, go to the same church. I want us to be hearing and receiving the same message. Why? Because it's important that the house is in unity. There's no division. You may be at one church and he's at another church, and you're not getting the same food. So now that may cause conflict in your marriage. You want to make sure that that is discussed. I know many couples that don't do it that way, and that's fine. However you run your house. I just believe that it's easier if you're going and you're getting the same meal. If you're getting the same meal, you can navigate through those things a lot easier. Life goals. Make sure that you guys are going through those things, the things that you want and desire, what you need, what you're striving for. Have you stopped going to school and you want to go back and get your degree? Make sure you discuss those things. How you're going to do that if you have children? Who's going to be home? Are we? Can one stay home and the other one work? How are you going to navigate those things? Compatibility and understanding. William and I can be very different, and then we can be very alike. If you do not know, we share the same birthday. And for most women, think that we get along splendidly. Not all the time. We can be like night and day. So it is very important that we have more compatible things than uncompatible things. We like to be around each other even when we don't like each other. We enjoy each other's company. So we love to dance, we love to joke and have fun with one another. We love family. Both of us are family oriented. And so in those areas we are compatible, and that helps us building that foundation in our marriage. Understanding. We both are very clear on understanding one another, making sure that we know that we are to be who God called and created us to be. We are not judgmental to one another, and we don't criticize and beat each other down. We are each other's biggest fans. Meaningful conversations. You guys are y'all. I love my husband, but my husband loves to talk a lot more than I do. When I talk, I want to make sure that it's we're going somewhere with here. Not that his don't, but it's just like, babe, why are we talking about this? He loves to talk. I don't. Because when you work a job and you talk all the time, it'd be like my brain is fried. But when we have conversations, we not only talk about the Lord because we love the Lord, He heard our cry, but we talk about things that we enjoy to do. We want to travel and invest and do things for our children and with our children. And so we make sure that we're having conversations that are not only temporary things, but permanent long term. We're looking not just into next month, but we're looking into next year and 5 years and 10 years ahead, because there is purpose in our relationship. We're communicating that with one another to make sure that we're both on the same page and that we're operating in the place that God wants us to be. Foundations of a successful marriage: love and respect, communication, trust, and faith. Okay. Now, in Ephesians 5 and 33, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. We must show appreciation all the time. Make sure that you are actively listening to one another. Love and respect. That is what God commanded for the husband and the wife. The husband should be loving his wife, and the wife should be respecting her husband. She should be giving him reverence and honor. And he should love her as Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? He laid down his life for her. He laid down his life for her. He placed his life on hold in order to give his life so that we will have eternal life. So, as a husband, you have to be willing to give of yourself. As a wife, you have to make sure that you are honoring and respecting your husband as unto the Lord. Do you reverence the Lord? Do you respect him? Do you honor him? Well, that's the same regard you should give unto your husband. And if you're not, I want you to stop and ask yourself the question, why am I not respecting him? Why am I not honoring him? Am I harboring feelings in my heart? Am I holding on to something that he did to me last year, last week? What am I doing? Or what's going on inside of my heart that I'm not giving my husband the respect that he's due? Do I have resentment towards him? I I think it was a few years ago, the Lord showed me because William would say something and it would just do something to my insides. And I shared with him, I said, I'm feeling something, but I don't know what I'm feeling. And when I began to share with him that I resented him, and it wasn't just him, I resented him and I resented my son. And you said, Nikia, how you going to resent your husband and your child? Well, let me tell you, I have been one that I've sacrificed so much for everybody else, and I've always put others before me. So even when my husband would say, "Hey, babe, here go a couple of dollars. Go get you something special for yourself." In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, "Okay, we need this at the house. Oh, I can get this here." I'm never thinking of self. And so when I go and I take this $100 that he didn't gave me to go and buy me that person I'd asked for, go and do a spa day or whatever, I go and I do something for the house or the family. But now when it's his turn to go out and he to go and enjoy himself, he's going to enjoy himself to the fullest. And I was angry. I started to resent. I said, how is it that you get to live your life footloose and fancy free? Him and my son, they got it down. They understood that I'm going to take and I'm going to care for myself and I'm going to enjoy the life that I was given. I'm having to learn that because I was taught differently. I was taught to put everybody before you and figure out you later. He has been breaking that spirit, but it's still, I had to recognize that it was something I was holding on in my heart towards him. I had to repent, ask God to forgive me, ask him to forgive me. And I began to understand that, Nikia, you have the same liberties as they do. You just need to take those liberties. So if you don't have respect and you are struggling in that area, I really want you to seek God for clarity and ask him to reveal to you what's going on. Reveal your heart to you. Reveal your heart. And so the practical step to make this work is showing appreciation and to be actively listening. All right, so communication, open and honest communication. One of the techniques is to have active listening and non-verbal cues. Communication is key in any relationship. Open and honest communication helps to resolve conflicts. How many of y'all have had conflicts? And build a deeper connection. Techniques such as active listening and paying attention to nonverbal cues can greatly enhance your communication. Greatly enhance your communication. So That tells me that in order for me to receive the fullness of my spouse, I need to pay attention, and I need to make sure that I'm actively listening to what he's saying. Even he talks for 5 minutes and he had all of these words, but there was only one sentence that I needed to really pay attention to. I need to actively listen to him and hear him say, babe, I really just need your support right now. He could have said all of these things, and I have to make sure that I don't get in my feelings and just pay attention to the nonverbal cues and to actually what he's saying. Because for me, I don't always know how to express myself. So I may say 100 things, but it has nothing to do with what I'm really feeling because I don't know how to express it. So when I go back and I tell you, I write. If I don't know how to verbally express something to my husband, I then will write him a note. I write him a letter. I journal it. We have our devotional where we can journal together. So he can always go back to that journal and he can see what I've written to understand where I'm at and what I'm going through. These are the foundations of a successful marriage. You want to make sure that you are loving and respecting one another and that you're communicating well, open and honest communication. It will benefit you not just today, but throughout your marriage. Trust and faith. Building trust over time, faith in God and in each other. Trust is built over time through consistent actions and reliability. Faith in God and each other helps to fortify this trust, creating a solid foundation for your marriage. Do you pray together? Do you study together? Do you read together? What are you doing together that's allowing you to trust one another? What are you doing together that's establishing that foundation of faith in one another? That regardless of where I'm at and what I'm going through, I know that I can pick up the phone and I can call you. I can send you a text message and say, babe, I'm not doing good. I need you to pray with me now. We have to make sure that we are trusting one another. And even when we fall, because we will disappoint one another. You get back up, you forgive each other, and you keep going. Don't keep harping on what I did last week, what I did yesterday, but keep going and moving forward. Do not hold on to the things of the past. Don't hold on to the mistakes and the things that we've done before. Let them go. Make the decision to let them go and move forward. Have faith that God has given you the ability, both of you, the ability to move forward. So you want to not only have faith in God, but faith in one another. I know that my husband have my back. I know my wife is going to support me. I know we're going to be down for each other no matter what. We're going to stand together against the world. That's the type of attitude you have. Nobody should come between the two of you, not family, not children, not anybody. The two of you should be what they say, thicker than thieves. Why? Because it's you against the world. Because once friends are gone, once family is gone, once children are gone, it's the two of you left there together. So you want to make sure that you're building this trust over time and that you're walking in the faith with God and you're building your faith in each other. All right. Active listening, communication and conflict resolution. Active listening and empathy are vital for fostering mutual respect and support, helping couples grow together effectively. We want to make sure that we have constructive dialogue and compromise are essential for resolving conflicts and maintaining harmony in the relationship. Adopting healthy approaches to conflict involves continuous effort and dedication, which are crucial for nurturing and sustaining a strong marriage. Building intimacy and strengthening the bond, cultivating emotional, physical, and spiritual intimacy. This deepens the connection and strengthens the bond between partners. Emotional, physical, and spiritual, meaning When I need my husband to cover me, to pray for me, to hold me in some areas spiritually, that builds a connection to where we are drawn to each other. We're building a bond between one another. We're strengthening our partnership with one another. That's because I can rely on you. I can trust you. He covers me emotionally, physically. Maintaining romance and affection. I know some ladies like all of that goo goo gaga stuff and all of those, the bubblies and all of those things, and that has its place. So you want to make sure that you have date nights and you're taking time to continue to court one another. It says affection alive requires continuous effort and dedication, fostering a loving and intimate relationship. Mutual respect, trust, and vulnerability. Build intimacy is rooted in mutual respect, trust, and vulnerability, allowing couples to grow closer and more connected. These areas you want to make sure that you are being intentional. Intentional. And this works. It doesn't matter what area you are or what phase you are in your marriage. All of these things you can build upon right now. If you haven't married yet, you need to start learning these things. God should be your husband. He should be the one that satisfies you. He should be the one that's covering you in these areas. You want to make sure that you are doing marriage his way. And how do you do it? It's standing on his word. It's relying on his principles. Get in the word of God and allow him to teach you what he would desire for you to do in your marriage. Your marriage may not look like William and I. It may not look like your neighbors. It may not look like your pastors. Allow him to show you how to build it. But your foundation should be the word of God. Maintaining and thriving marriage over time, adapting to life changes. Successfully navigating and adapting to life changes ensures the marriage remains strong and resilient over time. As you see this couple over here, they're a little more seasoned. So they've been through some things, they've walked through some things in life, and they've had to adapt with one another. Over 10 years, William and I have had to adapt with one another. Life has caused changes. We have a blended family, and so that alone have created some things for us, and we've had to learn how to adapt along the way. We've had financial issues, we've had to adapt along the way. We have walked in some places where if it wasn't for God that brought us out, if it wasn't for God that showed us how to practically walk out some things, if it wasn't for him placing people in our life to hold us accountable, to teach us, to lead us in some areas where we didn't understand, we didn't know how to navigate. Those are the things that we had to actually adapt to those things through life. 10 years, we still adapted. And keep your marriage as a top priority. Consistently prioritizing the marriage helps to keep the relationship vibrant and thriving amidst life demands. You're going to get busy. Life is going to throw things at you. There's going to always be something going on. However, you guys are number one. Dating, praying together, studying together, being intimate with one another. Those are key things, top priority. You love the kids, but the kids have a place. You two are going to be the ones when all of the kids are grown, you're going to have to stop and look at each other when you have that empty nest and say, who are we? You don't want to do that. You want to be building your relationship throughout, making sure that it can thrive through all of the changes that life will bring. Seeking professional support when needed. If you need a counselor, if you need someone to coach and to help you through some things, get professional help. Get professional help. You need to make sure that you know how to address things, address challenges, foster long-term marital health. Make sure that if you need help, you obtain it. You ask for help. You get professional support. Do not do marriage and you know that you are drowning and you don't reach out for help. You don't reach out for support. We're here to help you. We're here to help hold you accountable. We're here to give you the tools and the tips that can help you thrive. But there are some things that we may not be able to help you with. So you need to make sure that after all of these things are said and done, I need more. There may be some underlying things that you need to address. And if you need to do that, you need to be honest with one another and make that commitment to get the help that you need. Successful marriage secrets, open communication. Open communication is key to understanding and resolving conflicts effectively in marriage. You want to build trust. Trust builds a strong foundation, allowing couples to feel secure and valued in their relationship. Love and respect. It nurtures your bond, fostering a deep connection and creating a foundation for lasting, fulfilling relationship. Doing marriage God's way involves biblical principles and maintaining strong faith. Prayer and faith are vital components of a successful marriage. Some principles I want to give you: selflessness and sacrifice, commitment and loyalty. One thing I want you to know is a godly marriage requires selflessness, sacrifice, commitment, and loyalty. These principles help create a marriage that honors God in each way. See, these are successful marriage secrets. These are things that you can do on a day-to-day basis to make sure that you are successful in your marriage. Success of our marriage is the product of daily habits. Success of our marriage is the product of our daily habits. This is the beginning of William and Nikia. Practical tips and strategies: daily prayer together, regular church attendance, studying the Bible as a couple. If you do not have your daily devotional, your 30-day devotional, make sure you get your devotional so that you can use that resource to help you do this together. Learn you have your scriptures, areas where you can affirm the word, areas where you can pray together. It's all in this 30-day devotional. I will make sure to tag this devotional so that you can get it if you do not have it already. Schedule regular date night, practice gratitude daily, support each other's personal growth, be involved in a marriage group. You need accountability. Participate frequently to local workshops and conferences. I want you to take a pause, take a moment. Take a moment and pause and reflect on your relationship right now. I want you to identify one area where you can improve and start implementing changes today. Take a moment. What can I do today to improve my marriage and start implementing that change today? Because in all of this, it all tells me that we have to work together, that God has to be the center, and that you have to use practical tools and apply them. You can't just get all of this and you don't apply it, you guys. You have to apply it. Here are some testimonies of some ladies that joined one of my webinars I did earlier this year. We did a webinar on how to prepare for marriage, and these are some of the testimonies we got from that webinar. Here are some of our resources. We have the 30-day devotional. We have a new product alert. We have Doing Marriage God's Way, 8 biblical principles on how to please God in your marriage, It will be $49, but for Black Friday, it's only going to be $27. Yay, yay, yay. We have free resources, Virtuous Woman, she as a helpmate, the 5 qualities of a husband material. These are on our website, or you can go to, let me see if I can put it in here for you. Let me scan it across. I don't have it on here. It will be below in the video though as well, so you'll be able to see it. mycard.is/Will and Nikia. You can get these free resources. You have the link there where you can go and order the devotional. You can either order a paperback copy or you can download the digital copy as well. And you can actually pre-order or go ahead on and order the new ebook that I'm just losing train of thought. Our new ebook that we will have released for Black Friday. So you guys, I want you to know that we thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions. If you need to reach us, you can reach us at info@impactinglivescoaching.com, or you can send us a text at 469-938-0802. You want to stay connected with us, please go to our website to stay updated on upcoming events. We actually have some things that we're working on to release in 2025. So please, please, please make sure that you are staying connected. If you're not in our private Facebook group, please go to the My Card link, and all of our social media sites is on there. Everywhere that you can reach us is on this it's our link tree pretty much. And if you have not booked a 30-minute call with us, please book your 30-minute consultation with us today. It is free. Why not take advantage of that? Go ahead on and book your consultation. Can't even talk. And let's see what we can do to help you in your marriage or individually. If you need one-on-one coaching, please feel free to reach out to us and we will get you taken care of as soon as possible. Know that we love you. Thank God for you. And if you need anything, please email us at info@impactinglivescoaching.com. We love you and we'll talk to you next time.